message is that Jerry's best friend, Kat Vusi Matlala, is the one who is involved in this kidnapping. And I feel so bad and it hurt me so much that I know Vusi. I've met.
I will say, Mama, you know very well me and your son. We are very, very, very close friends. We've done a lot of things together, traveled together, me and his wife and my wife. And there was nothing that I will do to harm your son. Actually, your son was like a young brother to me. So there are people who are getting between us, trying to convince you that I took your son so that you might think of me as this bogeyman that people paint me to be. But from the bottom of my heart, I've never and I will never, ever do anything to harm your son or your family.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry.
According to Sunday Times, it is alleged that Katie Molefe, Katiso Molefe, who is also a member of a Big Five cartel, is also involved in the kidnapping of Jerry Boshoga. It is believed that Katiso Molefe and Vusi Musiket Matlala have been using the same hitmen linked to several high-profile murders, including those of Joe Ferrari Sipanyoni, DJ Sambodi, and Aman Swart. Key evidence presented by investigators include a series of WhatsApp exchanges between alleged associates Tiego Mabusela and Musa Kekana. The messages, now part of the investigation, appear to detail negotiations and planning around Boshoga's kidnapping. In one exchange, Mabusela writes, "Me and you will tell the team that it's 1 million rand just to grab and deliver him, and after 3 days we collect. Because I think 500k each aside for us. If we are 4, it's 250k. Each is enough. Don't you think?" Kekana responded and said 1 million rand is fine. I think they'd be fine with it because it's just taking him. The two men are described by sources as Fiat operators in Pretoria, allegedly involved in a string of criminal activities ranging from extortion to contract killings and kidnappings. Further evidence suggests that as early as 14 February 2024, Mabusela had identified Boshoga as a target. In another WhatsApp group, he reportedly shared a picture of Boshoga, stating that's the guy, and describing him as a well-known figure in Pretoria. Kekana allegedly requested Boshoga's name to search for him on social media. Investigators have also uncovered links between Mabusela and alleged kingpin Vusi Musiket Matlala, with their relationship believed to date back to 2021. Mabusela is described as having acted as an errand boy for Matlala, carrying out tasks on his behalf. This relationship extends to other alleged criminal plots. Authorities claim Mabusela was previously involved in a failed attempt to assassinate Matlala's ex-girlfriend, Debo Khotobejana. During the period of Boshoga's kidnapping, Matlala was allegedly in communication with Mabusela, further strengthening suspicions of coordinated activities. Despite these developments, many questions remain unanswered. Boshoga's whereabouts are still unknown, and no convictions have yet been secured in connection with his disappearance. The WhatsApp messages allegedly exchanged between associates of Vusi Musiket Matlala have surfaced as critical evidence in the case of missing Pretoria businessman Jerry Boshoga, offering a disturbing glimpse into what investigators believe was a calculated and coordinated kidnapping. The messages, now forming part of testimony before the Matlanga Commission, are set to map out the planning and execution of the abduction that took place in November 2024. More than a year later, Boshoga has not been seen. The WhatsApp conversations reveal a methodical approach to the alleged kidnapping. The exchanges reportedly include discussions about arranging a meeting with Boshoga, managing operational logistics, and dissolving what was described as a task team once certain objectives had been achieved. One message references a meeting involving individuals identified only as Sepia and the minister, while another suggests that a group perceived as a threat had been handled. Investigators believe these communications point to a structured network operating with clear roles and instructions rather than a spontaneous criminal act. The chats also appear to indicate attempts to evade law enforcement scrutiny, including discussions about moving the victim after police activity intensified. For investigators, this digital footprint has become central to understanding not only how the crime unfolded, but also who may have been involved behind the scenes. Boshoga's disappearance traces back to 18 November 2024 when he attended what appeared to be a routine business meeting at a KFC outlet in Centurion, Tshwane. He had been accompanied by his brother to collect chemical drums from a nearby property. While there, an unidentified man reportedly arrived in a Mercedes-Benz. Boshoga left with the individual shortly thereafter, and he was never seen again. Alarm bells were raised when his family received a call from an unknown number. During the call, Boshoga confirmed that he had been kidnapped. In the days that followed, the situation escalated dramatically. The family received a series of videos showing him bound, visibly injured and bleeding for his life. His hands were tied, and in some footage, a t-shirt had been forced into his mouth to muffle his cries. Initial ransom demands were at least 60 million rand, later dropping to 10 million rand. Despite ongoing communication at the time, contact with the kidnappers eventually ceased, leaving the family in a prolonged state of uncertainty and anguish. At the center of the case is Matlala, a controversial figure often described by authorities as a suspected kingpin. He has consistently denied any role in Boshoga's disappearance.
I can't die like this. I'm begging you, my love. Look at me now. I really need this money. You know I work hard. Can't be treated like this.
Testifying before the ad hoc committee, Matlala described Boshoga as both a friend and a business associate. He acknowledged lending him approximately 5 million rand, claiming the funds were intended for the purchase of a drug processing machine, while admitted that he was aware of Boshoga's alleged involvement in drug-related activities. Despite these claims, law enforcement officials conducted a raid on Matlala's property in December 2024, acting on intelligence that Boshoga was being held there. By the time police arrived, however, the businessman had allegedly already been moved. Matlala maintains that he has no knowledge of Boshoga's current whereabouts. What began as a kidnapping investigation has since evolved into a case with far-reaching implications. Testimony at the Matlala Commission has pointed that alleged links between criminal networks and elements within law enforcement. There have been claims of tip-offs to suspects, possible police complicity, and connections involving senior officers. These revelations have raised serious concerns about the integrity of certain institutions and the challenges facing investigators working to dismantle organized crime. Boshoga's family has made public appeals for assistance, even reaching out to high-profile political figures such as Julius Malema, in a desperate effort to keep the case in the national spotlight. For Boshoga's family, the emergence of the WhatsApp messages is a double-edged sword. While the evidence offers renewed hope that those responsible may eventually be brought to justice, it also reopens emotional wounds. 17 months after his disappearance, they are still left without answers, uncertain whether their loved one is alive or dead. The psychological toll of that uncertainty is immense. Each new development, each piece of evidence brings within both anticipation and dread. Beyond the personal tragedy, the case has underscored a growing crisis in South Africa, the rise in kidnappings for ransom. In Gauteng, particularly in and around Pretoria, such incidents have become increasingly common, targeting not only wealthy business people, but also ordinary citizens. The overlap between organized crime, business disputes, and illicit markets has created an environment where such crimes can thrive. For many residents, the Boshoga case has heightened fears about everyday activities. Meetings, transactions, and even routine travel now carry a perceived risk. Investigations into Boshoga's disappearance remain active and highly sensitive. Authorities continue to analyze the WhatsApp messages alongside other evidence gathered through the commission and independent police work. Further arrests and charges are expected as the probe deepens. The case also highlights the growing importance of digital evidence in modern criminal investigations. Conversations, once thought private, are now playing a pivotal role in reconstructing events and identifying suspects.
And then late in the afternoon, around 7 on Thursday, Tumi said, Mama, Jerry's being kidnapped. Then the rest was history. The question is, you want money from us whilst you are damaging my son. That by the time we give you that money, will my son's brain still be working? Will my son come back being normal?
It is too much.
It is too much for them. Then on my knees I pray that people, you that doing that to my son, down on my knees I pray.
What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.